Hello, hello, hello. This is Gresh again from the I Am CEO podcast. I had a phenomenal interview with James R. Nowlin of the Excel Global Partners. He's doing some really phenomenal work, and his podcast is going to go live in May. But of course, because of the importance of what's going on in the world now, we wanted to do an additional kind of bonus feature to talk a little bit more about the COVID virus and some of the things from his expertise on how it's of course affecting the world, but just how we as like entrepreneurs, CEOs, and business owners can kind of grapple through this trying and transformational time that we're going through. So James, I wanted to just give you the mic just to hear a little bit more about the things that we can learn about as business owners.
Well, first, Gresham, I'll say my heart goes out to people right now who are working on transforming their businesses and transforming the way that they communicate and lead their teams. I've gotten a lot of calls from CEOs, and as my work as an executive coach working with CEOs and corporate boards and that kind of thing, I understand the pressure that's going on right now with a lot of difficult decisions. And some people are laying off people, some people are worried financially, and some people are also concerned about their own mental health. And I think that there's something that we can do in crises like this. And the first thing that we need to do is to take a deep breath and to go within. We can have so many external factors and news and things that are just pounding on us all day long. But when we go within, when we close our eyes and take a deep breath and we connect with the breath, that allows us to decrease our anxiety. It's hard making a lot of these decisions, Gresh. It's hard looking at your bank account and looking at it to wonder if you're going to be able to make payroll or be able to make your mortgage, or if your lifestyle is going to continue at the level that it's actually at. But when we tap into our own consciousness and when we begin to become more relaxed around fear and letting fear uncling from us, we can move into a higher vibrational frequency of elevated consciousness so that we can have answers about how to navigate our business through these storms. It is tough. It is going to test a lot of people, but this new economy that we're going into is going to identify who's got a strategic mindset, who operated in fear, and who does not have a strategic mindset, and who did not operate in fear. And when we can tap into our highest potential by filtering out the noise, by turning off the news and focusing on what is it that's in my business that needs to be transformed or should have been transformed before this crisis, then we can come out of this thing stronger. That's a different scenario if you're in the hospitality business or some of these other fields that are just being crashed right now. But there's so much that we can do, and real leadership is going to require that people not operate in fear, that they turn off the news, and that they go within to find out what's the highest and best value that they can offer to the universe right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you for breaking that down. And as you said, people are really going through really, difficult times, and they're seeing things, they're hearing things. There's so many, especially for people that have so many, clients and customers and families and, so many things that are pulling at them. And, you want to be your best leader. But I appreciate kind of like I don't want to say simplicity, but I think sometimes we get so lost into all those things that we forget to take that breath. We forget to really have that quiet moment where we can just, I guess, get that mental health, regain ourselves so that we can make the next decision, because those decisions are not easy to make. And we want to try to make them with as much soundness of mind, heart, and soul that we can do, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And think about where you're going to be after all this is over and people are back out in the streets and going to concerts and traveling around the world and reconnecting face to face. Think about, your competition is probably panicking right now. What happens if you keep a cool head and get strategic and look in the mirror and work on some of the issues that could make your business a lot stronger on the flip side when things are better? So this period is an opportunity for us to be distraction free. I'm working from home right now. I go outside and exercise. I social distance myself from others. I don't have a crowded calendar right now with going to restaurants and meeting people and cocktail parties. And I'm not even going to the gym now. Thank goodness I've got some workout equipment in my house and I'm able to work out at home. But it's a rich period right now, whether we want to believe it or not, to invest in yourself, to look in the mirror and to find out what's going on with my business that was not working, what's going on with my relationships that was not working and could be improved, and really do some self-coaching Or it might be an opportunity to get an executive coach to work with you to fix some things, to fix that strategic plan or that business plan that's got you at, oh, I feel like we're at 70% of our potential, but we really need to be at 100% of our potential. Or for a lot of other CEOs out there, that little voice inside of our head that says, hey, I'm probably operating at 30% of my potential, where I'd really love to be in that feeling of operating at 100% of my potential. There are things that we can do right now, regardless of income, regardless of whether we're going to gain clients or not throughout this, to unpack issues about how we can be better. And that begins with being humble. It begins with looking in the mirror and saying, this is a great time where I can be distraction free and get a lot of work done so that I can come out of this stronger while my competition is panicking.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you again for saying that. And I think so many times, and I don't know if you would definitely agree with this, but I feel like you will, is that I think we can change our mentality and our perspective on some of the things that are happening, whether it be this situation or this pandemic that we're going through, or anything really, where I usually say things are not happening to me, they're happening for me. And when we start to change that
Hallelujah.
mentality, yeah, we can definitely start to take those steps towards being our best selves.
Absolutely. Things don't happen to us, they happen for us. And this is a really rich moment in history where I haven't seen anything like this before. Been through the
Mhm.
Great Recession, been through a period when I started my business and I was going to declare bankruptcy, but luckily I was able to get out of that situation. I've been through personal trauma of my own as being a near drowning survivor and
Mhm.
having to recover from brain injury, but I haven't seen anything where globally things just come to a halt. And
Mhm.
I don't know what the long-term ramifications are going to be with the economy. I don't know what impact this is going to have a year out or 3 years out, but I know that there's going to be a huge impact. And we've got to close our eyes, we've got to slow down, and we've got to get ourselves together so that we can figure out the path that we should be on and not head down the wrong path so that we spend months, if not years, doing damage control in our businesses.
Absolutely, you're so very, very right. And James, truly appreciate you again for extending some additional knowledge and wisdom for us to be our best selves and to reach and exceed our potential. Sometimes that we even think that we have. So, for people that might be listening to this bonus, part of the show, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you and to contact you just to connect?
People can reach me on jamesnowlin.com. That's James, N as in Nancy, OWLIN.com. They can also pick up a copy of The Purposeful Millionaire 52 Rules for Creating a Life of Wealth and Happiness now on Amazon.com. And they also can check me out on social media as James R. Nowlin. I've got a public image page on Facebook. I've got Instagram. I've got LinkedIn. I've got all the stuff that's out. I think I've got a Twitter account. My marketing team manages a lot of this stuff.
Mhm.
And we've got something really special that is coming out in the midst of this coronavirus crisis, and that is our mental health moments videos that are going to be me talking about my journey in mental health, some of the best practices, rituals, routines that you can incorporate into your life and your business on a daily basis, many of which are not hard, to stay elevated and to ward off depression and anxiety during this. And that can be found on all those social media pages. So videos will be coming out from me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then we'll have uplifting memes and quotes every Tuesday and Thursday on my social media accounts. And I don't post political stuff. I don't post negative stuff. I post positive stuff because there needs to be more love and positivity in the world right now. And I know that those CEOs who remain positive, who get real strategic right now, are going to be not only making an impact within themselves, but making an impact within their businesses and making an impact across the world as the world is just in need of just high vision, high thought, and optimism right now.
Absolutely. And if I could add to positivity. So I appreciate you for, being the leader that we need and that we see and being able to put that positivity into the world. And definitely, if you're listening to this, mental health is definitely a real thing. So do not ignore it. It's not something that, can just go away. So please take care of that. So, James, I appreciate that so much. Again, we will have the links and information in the show notes and everywhere so that people can get a hold of you. But I appreciate you again for all you're doing and your time today. And I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Gresham.